Hello, I am Jamie, and this is the vlog for August 24th, 2020. It is almost 10 o'clock. Kid is finally asleep. Um, House is pretty clean, so I'm going to spend some adult time alone, basically. Up here in the media room, I will give you guys a little brief spin of the room in a minute. This house is super quirky, so prefacing it with that, you'll see this giant black railing, and that is a spiral staircase that leads down into the kitchen and back up here. And if you go out glass doors, which I don't think I'm going to bother putting in because it's black outside, it's nighttime, you could see a little bit of the water. I think it's the Brownsville Marina is part of the Sinclair Inlet. Don't quote me on that. There's way too many waterways out here for me to memorize them all. But so here's a quick little spin of the media room. If you get motion sickness, you might want to fast forward. I'll try to go slow. Sorry about that. This is also kind of the guest room. This is a sofa bed that I'm sitting on right now. So works for our purposes for the moment. Today was a pretty good day. All things said and done, kiddo got off to school okay. I got her to listen to Frozen 2 soundtrack instead of the Trolls 2 soundtrack on the way to school, which, if you're the parent of a 5-year-old, is a big win when they'll finally change up the soundtrack. She used to drive me crazy with the Frozen 2 soundtrack too. But it's been a while since I've heard it, and I loved that movie. I consider it better than the first one. Definitely a little more grown up than the first one. But it was just beautiful and it spoke to me in so many ways. And I really like the fifth spirit. So it was great. It was lovely. The music was amazing. We got to sing along to it. Adina Menzel, I am not, probably was not even in my peak of singing, but it was really fun. Fun to sing along to those songs again. Kiddo, after school, I came back, did some work, got to drag my barbell out onto the driveway and kick some rust off these old weightlifting joints. Proved to myself I still knew what I was doing, even if I didn't put a ton of heavy weight on the bar. I think the heaviest I got was like 105-pound back squats or something like that. But it was good. It felt good. It reminded me how much fun that is to be able to do things that you're not sure you can do, to kind of push those boundaries just a little and a little bit more and a little bit more, and realize that even though I'm sporting some extra chub right now, I am perfectly strong and perfectly capable and pretty darn healthy. So I'm kind of okay with it. Still looking to drop a few, but meh, I'm not gonna drive myself crazy with it. Just make good choices. Anyway, that was great. Went to go pick up the kiddo to find she'd taken a nasty fall that day at school. She had gravel in her hand, like right there from having caught herself on her fall. Scratches on her chest, scratches on her knee. Poor thing. It was a rough day. But it was also a really rough day to be a forest preschool teacher. While they were dropping Inara off with me, they were also dropping another little girl off with her mom that had just been stung by a bee. It was just a rough day to be a forest school teacher and a forest school kid, a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Inara had a lot of fun, but she was very adamant to show me her owies, which later, of course, I had to work on getting the gravel out. She was not too thrilled about that, but she was a trooper. You know, a few tears because it stings like crazy, especially when you cut your hand up good, you know? So, giant band-aid and pay attention to it. We'll hope it doesn't run into any problems. The media room. Anyway, up here used to be my office when I first moved into this house because I worked from home. I was a medical coder from home. And it was beautiful and great. And I enjoyed the space being my office. Once I gave up the desk job, we moved everything up here because the internet connection was better. That included my husband's gaming computer. And those things take up a lot of real estate. If you notice on the swing around, there is no desk in here anymore. During this deployment, with his permission, I moved the desk downstairs and the computers downstairs. The internet's still up here. I have to call the internet folks and have them route it. So it's downstairs, and then we can put a booster up here instead of trying to do the opposite, which is have it up here and then booster it throughout the house. Hopefully that'll turn out well. We can keep that computer downstairs. I really don't mind gaming. I don't. I've met some friends through games. I've met some wonderful people through, gosh, old school AOL roleplay was one of my favorite things to do. So back with dial-up and all that. But I didn't really get into the world of MMOs and stuff. I needed things that I could put down because life has never been such that I can schedule it around gaming for me. Maybe that means gaming just wasn't that important, which is probably true. I don't know. Anyway, so my gaming days are chiefly behind me, except when I pick up like Diablo or something and play two-player with my husband. Just simply, I don't do a lot of the MMOs. I don't do any of the MMOs actually anymore. He plays Destiny and a Diablo game. He played the Star Wars game for a while. There's probably more that I don't know about, which is fine by me. The challenge with it, especially in military life, is when you're gone 6 months out of the year and then you're in the same room with people you love who are looking for connection, kiddo, me, whatever, and put on headphones and get a mouthpiece on, you might as well not be in the same room anymore, which isn't a bad thing. We all need that time. And if gaming is that downtime for you, more power to you. You found it. A lot of people don't find anything. But by the same token, when you're gone for months at a time, it just deepens that rift. But I understand when he's gone for those months, he's also gone from gaming for those months. So he's looking to catch up and re-engage in that as well as re-engage in life with family. So if I can get the internet to work down there, the computer will stay down there where we spend most of our family time. So it's not like he's locked away up here and we're off doing something else. We can interrupt. We can be a part of it. We can practically be in the same rooms, which is fine. And honestly, when the kids are old enough to game, I would like to be able to have them nearby so I at least kind of understand what's going on. Maybe. I don't know. I plan on raising thinking human beings, but things happen. Kids make dumb decisions sometimes. Um, and some of the stuff on the internet can be kind of creepy. And where there's prey, there are predators. Laws of nature, right? So, yeah. So I'd like the gaming stuff and the family computer to be in kind of a more public area. So that's kind of where that came from. And we are looking to hopefully renew our foster care license so we can do foster to adopt for probably just one kid to add to the family. I am not getting pregnant again. I am 40 years old. I have this much interest in doing it. My first pregnancy went fine, other than the challenges of having a kid that carried my gene for ovarian cysts and actually had a 7 centimeter ovarian cyst found in utero, and that's very rare. Um, that's a large cyst for an adult. So she's had an autoimmune disorder from the get-go. So we know about it. We're doing what we can. It doesn't hinder her life a lot at this point, which is fabulous. But it was mentally very challenging for me to kind of wrap my brain around all that, what that meant. And when a nurse told me about it after she was born. She said basically, "Do you know this? This condition is very rare." And she was stumbling over her words over the phone, trying to tell me about it. And I immediately said, "I know, I have polycystic ovaries." And she's like, "Oh." And she said these words, and I will never forget it. She's like, "Then you're the perfect mother for her." This doesn't mean that I'm perfect, but it did solidify for me that it's all going to be okay. Like, I don't know how or when, or call it crazy faith, but um, I think it's going to be a challenge, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. And it was really helpful for me to hear that, and not to mention the relief in her voice when she realized I knew something about what she was trying to communicate to me about. So anyway, I have prattled on for a little while. Uh, yeah, so I guess this is the blog for today. And today was pretty good. Tomorrow will be better.